And they just messaged me and asking if shared exploration was on or not. Try and catch up to live speed. And Austria, France in the losers bracket. Need to win this one or you're going home. I'm joined by someone that had experience of that the other day in the form of Annotoph. And
Yep.
I mean, you're just you're the perfect person to have for the series.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Gonna be a very nice set. I was talking to Sto earlier today, and he feels confident. I mean, he always does.
I was about to say
he,
it's France, of course they do.
yeah, true. But especially with Leary, joining the Austrian team for the last few sets, we've seen very strong performance by them. So yeah, this can definitely be an interesting set.
Mm-hmm.
We also have two of my teammates in here, of course, with freaking Andy and Cito. So there's a lot on the line here.
And this must be the spec delay getting to us with Andy asking me about shared exploration.
Okay.
It's all been
So
dealt with.
what's your prediction for the whole set?
I don't know. I think like we touched on, I think a lot of it does hinge on this Nomad game because it's difficult to see where they would take a game from each other on the other maps. I could maybe see, but I think Two Rivers looks like a throwaway map for Austria, but it does kind of get to this kind of like late game situation where it nearly almost turns into like a BF style of map, like Two Rivers at times. So it'd be interesting to see if they do kind of have sips for it at that moment, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I think both teams are going to be all in and trying to win this game. And looking at TC spots, so we got 3 versus 1 on either side. Kind of an interesting spot.
So Leary is the one here on the northwest side here against 3 Frenchmen, and having a castle drop civ is just perfect in this spot because you want to delay everyone, right? And if he gets to castle, his TC is on stone, so I think Leary has a really nice spot here. And then who's the Frenchman? That is Clément, and he is playing as Gujaras. Okay, so not a castle drop civ, but also like a civ that thrives in chaotic situations, I'd say, and could definitely make something work here. I'm just not sure if Clément is the kind of player who likes this playstyle. So I'm sure Franz would have preferred Cito to be in this spot, to delay everyone and get everyone else in a good spot and get anyone to carry.
Or Margugu as well would be a good option.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll be interested to see like how much value these one players that are isolated can kind of get. Of course, like a big part of Nomad is like denying resources or stealing boars at the right time. Even some laymen could go on. I mean, the thing is with Clément, he should know where everyone is because of the TCs, so he knows like how bad not necessarily how bad the position is, but he should they should already have a decent plan in place by minute 6. And I think they've discovered Clem's there because it looks like there's been a sheep or something missing at the TC or somewhere around there, but maybe a starting villager. I'm not too sure actually. It's hard to tell.
I think it should be a sheep by the width of the scouted area, I think.
Yeah, it looks like a sheep to me.
Yeah. Not sure if they saw the... Yeah, they probably didn't see the color, so they probably don't know if that is Clément, but...
It's someone, which is what they know. It looks like they've only noticed Ziskan in the north, and the other 2 are a little bit under the radar at the moment. But the actual scouting from Austria so far is decent for minute 7. And you're starting to rule out where players are not going to be.
Yeah, we do see that freaking Andy is kind of in the spot where it's like it can be nice to be Celts if you're just booming and killing in the late game, but sometimes that could also be just too late. Like sometimes you need to have an impact earlier, and like maybe he can push Clément, maybe he can go up top, but there's no one close to that he might be able to, do some kind of siege push or use the Kel's bonuses here. So we might also see him play water, I guess, in this spot. Speaking of which, what are the dock positions looking like?
Got tanks and Andy up in the north, so kind of strength in numbers there is kind of nice. With Dravidians and Malians, even like nearly every one of the civs for Austria are actually very good for water. The wood eco should be pretty good across the board there. LB10's out to the left hand side, and then everyone else is kind of over to the east. Weary is surrounded on land, and he's also surrounded on water.
That's not ideal. Like for him, he probably he likes his TC spot, especially knowing that blue is right next to him. So that's definitely a target to castle drop. But then of course you don't want your fish to be exposed, and being next to Magugu and Siskan here on the right side, I'm sure Leary will lose his fish pretty fast.
There's a saving grace, at least Iron by only cost wood and gold. So a little bit more problematic if it was like Janissary or Conks and you're like, ugh, I really wish I had those fish now. Iron
yeah, by the way, Conks, I guess Spanish was sniped, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Yeah, makes sense, yeah.
And then
just too strong.
Ritz was sniped from France on the other side, which I was kind of surprised with actually, because of the Austria. The last series didn't really prioritize Arabia too much. But maybe still.
True.
I don't know. Like.
If I recall correctly, last time they played with Leary Pocket.
Yeah,
right?
they did, and it was like Hindustani into the quicker imp, which didn't really do too much in the end.
Yeah. So I guess if you get Britons and then give it to Leary flank, that's always something. That could be a win condition.
True.
So yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's also that France isn't really scared of any of the other civs. Like Spanish is a clear snipe because it's just so powerful on Nomad, but the Vikings, Dravidians, Malians, they're all good, but like they're not standout civs that need to be like sniped, in my opinion. At least.
Makes a lot of sense. Clem's the first one into Feudal Age. He's going to go for a range here, and this is one of the situations where you can go for a range, like a range opening, especially when you have 3 people so close to you. Like you have a decent window for to do like some damage here.
Is it scouted though? Let's see, because there is a mill from tanks with 1 villager, and this villager is actually trapped like, inside the berries. So it could be a dead will.
Most
Not
likely.
sure if Clem will scout it, but
yeah. Tank's also thinking about a range, I think. Or is he? Oh, he's gonna go market. Market and what? Soon find out.
Market. Second. Wait, maybe up top? No. No, it's just missing a building, right?
Yeah.
Or is he just playing water? He's queuing 1 fire galley. But Sito's already has a galley at Tank's fish, and
Yep. And Siskan already got some good galley numbers, kind of clearing up Wavy's fish, and kind of expect that they are all sent to the grave. LB10, the one going water for Austria, and just kind of in an awkward spot. He's just like, he's just so far away from everybody else. All of his docks.
Yeah.
They're on the opposite side. He's got 4 dogs, but they're all like on opposite sides of the map.
so his first dock must have been the one in the top left, and then he redocked next to his TC. I guess that's really unfortunate because there's no dock, no French dock close to him. Yep.
I mean, they get Clem with the archers. LB10 has to try and wall towards the shoreline just in case he tries to peek through. Some idle time at least, looking good.
Yeah, very nice start for France so far.
Andy's on about to cancel.
So that looks like a castle drop from Magu here. It's a lot of builds coming towards Leary.
Levy's also gonna have the stone, and it might, like Margugu, if he goes too close, he might be in danger of a counter castle.
Oh, that's a nice house from Leary, blocking the spot there. And so what is this gonna be?
Does he delete it now? That would. Ooh, he does. Ooh.
And there's the castle from. Oh, okay. Let's count the villagers.
Margugu's already said more. Oh, this is gonna be. This is gonna be. I think Margugu gets us up.
Yeah, it should be. That's 15 builds for Leary, 17 for Margu, sending 2 more.
I'm trying to go in between them. They look like they're pretty much the exact same, or very close to being the same time.
Yeah, I mean both will go up for sure.
Yeah.
But very interesting. So we got 1 Vil kill from the Magu's castle. Let's see if Magu will lose 1 as well. 2 actually. Okay,
2.
so
both of them queuing up petards. They want these castles to go down ASAP.
this is the perfect start to this series.
yeah. Margugu does have 8 fish, so the petards are going to be a little bit more. They'll be easier for him for sure. And Andy's even putting a siege workshop behind Leary's TC now, so he might just try and support for Ram.
Okay. That's an interesting play. That's the Dockville, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
That.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah. It's a Celt Ram as well, so gonna attack faster. And doesn't seem like Magu has the rest right now to make rams actually. Yeah, he's missing some wood. Queuing up those petards.
Sato just battling out on water against Andy in the north. Andy's already got War Galley. Good numbers from Sato, and I think it's going to be enough just to delay till he does get War Galley. Demo or 2 mixed in, and demos come over from Andy. Andy's an R player, is not shy of a demo for sure.
Okay, so we have Sato as Magu versus Andy on water, and then what are the others doing? What is Tanks doing?
I think he's still trying to deal with Clem a little bit, because Clem's got good archer numbers. He's got 9 there.
Okay. He's only. That's kind of weird. Did he play water?
Not
He's only
really.
now on the way to Castle Age. He doesn't have anything on land. Just has a market.
Yeah.
Doing a tower now. Ooh, that tower's not going up.
Not even close to going up, and
Very nice pressure from Clément here.
Tanks is just trying to survive the Castle Age. It's not even a sign of a building yet. And the castle.
Yeah, I guess he just goes for a siege workshop.
Yeah. The castle war in the north. Oh my god. Oh my god. Levy's castle's got 10 HP. It's got 10 HP.
10 HP and he's now repairing.
10 HP. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. Like at this level.
Very nice. So I guess in retrospect we should say that Magu should have attacked the castle with his vills when he was there, you know, when he was done building his castle.
Yeah,
then it would have gone down.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. Okay, now we have a second castle from Magu. Okay, so he is still gonna go into the war wagons. Does Leary have eco to produce a Rambai though? It doesn't really seem like it.
No.
Wait, he's on 16 vills?
Yeah, I think he nuked a lot repairing.
Ah, okay.
And Margugu is only in 19 as well, in fairness. And Leary is going to have support of 2 mangonels.
Okay.
From
What is this
Andy.
gun doing here? This gun did make galleys. And he went to LB. Okay, so he sniped the fish of LB, very nice.
Yeah.
And he's now adding a TC.
Know your place, worm.
And getting pressured by the mangonels. I think France should be fine if Magu gets to a couple of war wagons. Like, they deal fine with mangonels. They have such high damage output.
Yeah, and all of the fish are wiped at this point from Austria as well. If France just continue to apply some pressure with military, it might be pretty hard for them to react. So ELP 10 already on free TC, so kind of like hugging the coastline a little bit, looks alright. Not sure what Andy does here. He did go for a stable. And some knights in the meantime. Feels like Clem is in a really good spot. Like,
yeah.
Despite like the TC position in the start.
I wonder if he's gonna add some siege now, because with like crossbow and camel is a nice unit comp for Gujaras, but it's not gonna kill buildings and do that much damage. So I wouldn't mind seeing some mangonels or even some elephant rams from him.
Going for the monastery first. They're trying to get some conversions and add the siege workshop after. Sato is going to be on 4 TCs. Got 10 fish behind it as well, so that's looking pretty tasty.
We already see a 30 vil advantage for Team France, so that looking really good. I think Clément has done an amazing job down here, basically pressuring all 3 Austrian players here in the south, and especially tanks hasn't really accomplished much. So he's now trying to push Clément with some scorpions and knights, but don't think that's gonna work. Scorpions is a weird choice here.
Yeah, and like the camels are actually just going to clear up everything. It's very odd. Like the monastery's going forward, doesn't have anything else to support it at this moment. It's looking good for France. These opening stages for sure. Looks like Andy's still investing in the water. I do like that. He's just not letting it die completely off and still making sure that France are investing or at least paying attention to there.
That's true, but on the other hand, Austria has not a single fishing ship. So as long as Citeaux makes an odd fire ship here and there and just holds water, I feel like they are benefiting from this way more because they actually have some fishing ships. So yeah, really nice spot for France. What's happening with this mango push in the north here? Got a 1-for-1 trade here between Siskan and Andy.
Yeah, TC did go down in the end. Siskan.
Okay, now we have ballistics in for Magoo and Botkin, so those are some well upgraded war wagons, and he's chasing down the Rambai from Leary here, who's trying to micro his way to victory. Let's see.
He's
I'm
trying.
not doing much damage here.
He's trying. I mean, war wagons just get so much HP, man.
Yeah. Also the free armor upgrades, just insane.
Yeah.
5 armor without spending a thing. I guess you're spending resource on the wagon, but no upgrades. That's really nice.
And now Clem's coming with a castle in the bottom. The last time we've seen Clément in the France game versus who was that against? China B. Was it China B? I think it was, and he's playing Bulgarians. He had an insane game. I was actually really impressed with how he done in that one. And he's having a good game so far. Castle coming, applying pressure to 2 players.
Yep.
Even denying the monastery on the right hand side, Zandy was starting to prepare something against the two.
I think that makes a lot of sense. If Andy just booms here, I think he will get overrun by Lithuanians. It's just a better civ, right? They have bomber cannons, they have good cav options, they have hand cannons. Like, if it's an early IM scenario between Celts and Lithuanians, which is the likely matchup here on the right side, I have to favor Lithuanians by a lot. So yeah, but then again, the monastery got denied actually by those archers from Clément, so even now, minute 31, they're still getting some value. Very nice. And we finally see the workshop from Clément, so I hope that he goes into rams, actually. He has a bunch of camels with decent upgrades, so he can snipe mangoes, and with the elephant rams, he can start killing TCs and be super annoying.
Yeah. 5 TCs from Sato. This is brutal. Starting to defend a little, like starting to just fortify a little bit, defending with some castles. He's up to 32 bells, so it's not pretty. He does have more than Margugu.
Sure.
There's a lot of monks in defense from Siskan. It's just the Ironby are just not doing too much. I was saying earlier on today that Ironby, I think they've really shown in Nations Cup like how good they can actually be in certain games. But like right now is not one of those situations.
Yeah, I think it's a really good anti-meta unit. So it's a unit that's good against both archers or crossbows and knights, and also, at least to me, surprisingly, also camels if you mass them. So it's a unit that you really need to go all in with. Like making a Rambai and booming doesn't really work as well, I think. So I like the fact that he is on 1 to see, but I guess in this game it wasn't really a choice he had, since he was down to, what was it, 19 vills after the castle fight, so makes sense to stay on 1 to see here. Oh, nice market, or university actually, by Sito here, blocking the path from the Rambai.
And should just give him enough time to get the castle up behind it as well. Should.
Yeah.
Pause.
And game paused again, okay.
I was getting a little bit of a lag spike in my end, so it might have been the same thing. Time to check the DMs. I don't know who paused. Can't even see in game actually. Maybe a quick look on Spec Dashboard. I think it on the chat there.
As Valeri, I think. But not sure. Don't see any chat here.
Tech tree check.
Actually check. Oh, we don't have Hera in the game, right? Oh, I completely missed that Magoo has war wagons on the left.
Yeah, he does.
Remember, those have ballistics, right? So, for now, LB has nothing to counter those. He has 2 monks. That's not going to be enough, and he's losing wilds, and they can just dive the TCs.
Yeah, so much HP. The Pierce armor is just sick as well. LB10's
There's
up.
Potkin. Sorry?
LB10's up as well, so he's want to make some sort of transition into Imp, and if he has to like make skirms for a little bit, it's gonna be a little bit annoying.
Yeah. I guess he still wants to go straight into Arbalest, and Arbalest is fine against Castle Age war wagons, especially when there's not too many. 15 war wagons is that's fine, but he doesn't even have a barracks yet, I think. And he does, and he's placing an archery range to the south, so it seems like he wants to push Clément. But it's not like his eco is that great, so
yeah.
Not sure how good this push will be. He's also heavily on stone, so I guess we'll see a castle soon.
He's not really close to anyone either. You know, it's gonna take time to like start this push. Whatever push he does want to go for, it's not just gonna happen instantaneously. It looks like he is gonna prioritize Clem with that bracket placement on the bottom. Looks like we're good now.
You see Clément expanding right into a castle of freaking Andy, so...
And the castle from tanks on the left-hand side as well.
So, yeah, Clément might die here, but I think France will still be in a good spot, because I don't really see Austria holding the 2 players we have now on the way to Imperial for France, which are Siskan and Citeaux.
Yeah, and it looks like Citeaux gonna be double castle, ready to get on a unique unit. We have relics. We got 2 already, that's nice actually.
Yeah, very nice.
So that's gonna be annoying to deal with, and then Siskan. More castles coming up. Are we gonna go Rattans? Out of that. Might take some time out of one castle, but I guess.
There's one bonus for Vietnamese that is sometimes overlooked, that is free conscription, which is actually, it's a really nice bonus. Obviously it only comes in Imperial, so it doesn't help you before that, but it's a tech you want to get every single game, of course, and having that for free, especially when you're like on a low eco or like, you know, trying to switch into Rattans only have one castle. Those produce fairly quickly already, but I don't really see the point of Rattans. I think you want to be quick and just, you know, just play Arbalest, kill fast together with the latest.
Probably want a Treb or two as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Just for the TC and the castle. He is making some Rattans, but see if he does drop some more ranges. Sato's already starting the raiding, and Andy going for a panic castle. It's a very forward castle from Sato as well.
Yeah.
And I think Andy's gonna get his up first, but I don't think he's gonna have enough to deny it.
And he's not even up to Imperia, right? No, the castle will go up for sure.
Yeah.
Then we'll have traps from Sito in a second, and yeah, as I said earlier, I think this is a rough matchup here on the right. And I think if they lose the position close to Andy's base, I don't really see a win condition for Austria anymore.
Yeah, and like Austria have now had 3 players contributed to like stopping Clement getting out. Like a castle from LB10 in his face. There was a defensive castle from tanks, a castle from Andy, and Clement still got like villagers out. It feels like what he's done. He's just been a nuisance for multiple players, which is sometimes how you gotta play Nomad.
In the beginning, I said they're probably not happy with Clement being in the spot, but Clement did an amazing job at this.
Yeah.
So he's usually known to be more of a macro player, you know, good build orders, good decisions, but not so much this messy playstyle that Sito and Muga are known for. But for this game, I must give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, and Weary's pretty much out the game at the moment. Wandering around with Fizarin by. Still chasing down war wagons. Marbagugu might only have 22 Vels, but he's took Weary down with him in fairness, so...
Yeah, it's a classic Magoo game. You know, when the team wins and Magoo has below 50 Vils, then it's a classic Magoo game.
We got Elite Rattan, Elite Latest coming in as well, and looking like a really, really comfortable position from France at the moment. If you looked at like total pop though, it doesn't look terrible.
Know your place, worm.
But yeah.
Yep, but the GG is called. Yeah, it's just...
the position is just... is too much.
The position was better, and also it kind of came down to the civs, right? I mean, obviously Lithuanians is one of the best civs on Nomad, but they were like, on the right side here against Kells, which in this game at least is probably the worst Nomad civ. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. They had pretty similar situations against the teams, like 3 players against 1. Weary, just Margugu that took down, and Clement went for the fast archer approach and feudal age. I think that's a really good like instance to go for when you have like 3 people super close to you. Gives you quite a good time window to do some damage. Tanks was like, I don't really understand what Tanks done this game. No disrespect to him, it just didn't feel like he done anything.
Yeah, I agree. So if you compare the situations, we had Leary and Clement in a similar situation, but in the north, near Leary's base, we had Magoo go for a castle drop. So they recognized that Leary was exposed in the north, and they wanted to push him and not allow him to do what Clement did, basically. Whereas in the south, no one really pushed Clement. Like in the end, yes, but he just opened with archers. You know, he delayed a lot of people, and we had LB going for water. We had tanks doing FC into walling and like a late siege workshop, and even a late FS castle, and then Andy doing some water and siege in the north. So no one really pressured Clement, so Clement was able to do all this harassment, all this annoyance, and I think that got France in a really good spot.
Like, people sometimes forget how good archers can be in certain situations in Nomad. Like, that just... It takes you really good map control in certain situations. If you're going to have like a castle drop coming on you, it's the very worst. It's going to force it defensively. Clement just had a great game. Well done to Clement. Big clap. Yeah, he had the last couple of saves for Philip have been super, super good.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been really impressed by him.
Like, I'd say he's like by far the most improved player in our team throughout the tournament. It's great to see.
I think there was a lot of question marks why there's like no Jordan and everything. It was like I had to like say to people, I was like, I don't know if Jordan would do any better of a job. Like, no disrespect, it's just not. If you're not prepared, it's just not as simple as just playing and winning. I feel like there's such a big disconnect with some of the viewers. Like, it's just not that simple.
Yeah, some people think that you just hop into a team game and just play like you always play, but teamwork and team chemistry is a big part of team games. It's not only being a good player, and John didn't play a single practice set with us, so we still would have wanted him to play with us, of course, because he's just amazing. But yeah, we also had some issues with NSC, not being the perfect timing for that tournament, of course, with Neely and Jordan being busy for a while. And yeah, but I'm so glad that Neely was able to join us, even if it was just for a few games.
Me too. It was good to see him play.
Yep.
And Sivs for this one then. We got Siskan up in the north. He's actually got a very beautiful, dockable fishbone pond. And the back, it's got one deep fish there, by the way. Might honestly be worth it at a certain point. we'll see. So toe's going to be his pocket in green. You can see the wood is way towards the edge for his little island. We get the fast builds from him. Quaimont is going to be Byzantines. It's mostly been the fast castle, kind of fire play. And then, of course, we have Margugu down in the south in the grey. It's the Persians, and it's dock before lumber business.
Yes, but he's making fishing ships. I'm disappointed. This is not going to be 15 pop, sadly.
No.
So they are going with a different route here.
It might just be one by the looks of it. Maybe thinks he can push it a little bit more, but I guess it'll be 16 pop.
Should be more than that. He is on 15 pop now, and he has no food in the bank.
No, he really
I guess
doesn't.
he has a lot of food on those builds.
Yeah.
Coming up.
Another Vel queued though. You got to think in this kind of like when you're doing these kind of builds, you're very, very precise in how many Vels you've queued and whatnot.
Yeah.
Let's see. The rush distance is not exactly. It's not huge, but it's not exactly short either. It's a little bit between them. You should look down towards Andy, and he's in galleys on flank, which can be certainly difficult to play against on water.
Yeah. So usually I think the distance between the flanks doesn't matter too much, because if you're just gonna go for a galley fight, then and you're both up at the same time, you're just gonna fight somewhere anyway. It's more so that you wanna how fast can you get to the pocket, and I think the distance from flank to pocket, like to enemy pocket, is roughly the same all the time.
Yeah.
But then it's actually important where the flank, like the enemy flank, is located, because when they're close to you, it means that you can go past them quickly. So it's tougher for them to chase you when you're up faster, like the 15 pop build, and can then start sniping fish. But yeah, I don't think we'll see this here, because we don't see any of the super fast builds. We actually we have a 16 vil up from Magu, so good job there.
Yeah, 15 seconds of idle. Yeah.
That's decent. But I don't know. I feel like why would that be worth it? Like, sure, you will have less idle time because you have a fish, so you can produce more vills. But it doesn't matter for the Persian player here, who will be on low eco until going to middle and booming anyway. So is it worth it to have a little bit more eco, but kill less eco of the enemies? That's the big question, and I don't think it is. I think it makes more sense to be as all in as possible, like as fast as possible, and killing more fishing ship instead of having more fish yourself.
He also added a second fish on the way up as well.
Yeah, I guess he could just afford it, right? Because he was up later.
Yeah.
So he'll have a decent food eco, yeah.
I think what you're saying about being like completely all in, it's kind of like you really have to like shift your mindset to do something like that as well. Like most people are so ingrained about as an economy.
Yes.
It's gonna give you a better
Especially
game.
1v1
Like,
players.
yeah. It's gonna give you a better game in the end. It's like you sometimes have to change your mindset. It's kind of interesting to think about.
Yeah, in team games you can specialize a lot, right? So in some situations it's better for one guy to have all the eco of the team and for the others to have all the military of the game, because that means that you specialize, you can use your entire focus on one thing that you're doing, so you'll do that better than if you do everything at the same time. But there is a trade-off, of course, because it means that if you put certain players in the position to carry, then they also need the skill and the overview of the game and the map to actually carry and do well with it.
Okay, you can see first galley's on the way out from Andy. He's not too far away from Weary, but Weary's fish is getting pressured. Marguga done a really good job of just hugging the coastline, going past there. And it already takes out one of the fishing ships, but Andy's
also well done by
close.
Leary, because you saw Leary pulling the fish that Magoo targeted to the south, so towards the reinforcing galleys of Andy. So Andy is probably... Does he see them? Oh, he's not seeing them. Okay, so this can be rough, but I guess he should see them soon when they appear in Leary's line of sight again, so he can chase them down.
Yep.
But this is certainly a lot of damage on Leary already.
And the next galley's already coming over from Marguga. Might try and take the villager there. I don't think it's going to manage, but close. And then... looks like the other galleys on Weary gonna find anything else. Yep. Our fan side, how are we looking? We got Vikings versus Italians. Triple dock for both by the looks of it. And no landing yet from Austria, but we can see Zato coming over with Berbers. He's done this quite a lot with Berbers. Landing in Feudal Age and going for the scouts. It really makes things quite annoying to deal with if you're trying to land yourself.
Okay, we see Leary with the transport now, and he is on stone, so this will be a Coustillé play in the middle. And I think that's the same thing he did last time, right? Against, who was it? Against Russia?
Yep.
Let's see how this works out.
Still cracked.
Sorry?
They're still cracked.
Yeah.
After all the nerfs, like the charge is just so good.
Yeah, it's very strong because you kill like some of the army fast, so it's less damage output over the course of the fight. So
yeah, just like instantaneously kill like so many units.
Yeah.
See, Andy's getting a bit of a pushback now. Mon is up to Castle Age as well. And he has been going for the Castle Age kind of fires. And you can still do a relatively quick transition to Imp if that's what you want to go for the fast fire, but getting your timings right on this map seems to be interesting in terms of like when you want to be over and how much you're going to commit to land at certain points. So Toll with 2 scouts has already been a bit of a nuisance down in the south, so it maybe makes him feel good.
Ooh.
Okay, nice
and
micro.
He's losing his thrills, right? Okay, he saved one. We have forging coming in for Sito as well.
Ooh.
But yeah.
It's double stable in the north.
So my question right now is, will we see any fast imp? Yes, it looks like we'll see fast imp from Clément, who is building a monastery and university. He's also willing to see in the middle, so that's okay, I guess. The issue with fast imp, in my opinion, is that you'll win water at a time of the game where it's not that impactful anymore. At that stage, it's more important to have eco and the correct setup in the middle. And that's why I do like the approach with the TC. I don't know if fast dim is really necessary. I think just playing Castle Age Fires does a similar thing. You have impact faster, and you can also set up your eco in the middle because you have more res to spend on eco.
And that's exactly what Tanks is doing on the other side. He's got the TC there. He's went for Karinen already. He's got War Galley out, so
yeah,
the galleys are going to struggle against Karinen fires for sure, and might have a bit of a time window to do damage for sure. Imp, of course, takes some time. Clemon should be adding fires already. He's only 2 dock. Yeah, looks like he's only 2 dock at the moment.
Interesting. Alright, the castle is up for Leary, so we're gonna see some Gustier soon. There's already a monastery from Sito coming in, and he does have the cheap camels, so at least in theory, that's a good counter to the Gustier. And also, Sito's setup was just so much nicer here, not losing any fish, and also, Leary losing, I think, was it 2 vills in the end? I think it was 2 vills that he lost in the center. So Sito already with an 8 villager lead, or 8 worker lead.
Yeah. Seems like he's just delayed so much. Like the TC's only just coming now, Sito's only on 2, already on 2. Of course, Costelier numbers will start to swell, but nothing too great at the moment. I was really impressed with Leavy's macro the last time they played on Migration. He just absolutely dominated. Okay, Andy's got the TC up now. Should be seeing LB10 making his way across. Got to try and make use of your timings here. Try and get a foothold.
Yeah, you can see the difference between Andy and Mergu now in the builds, right? Like Mergu is... he's using the market a lot. Okay, so he'll click up, but he is one entire, or even more than one entire calculate research behind. And so he'll need the fast fires from Clement to bail him out here, out of the situation.
And that they certainly should. You just look how much they tank. The water galleys, they like barely even tickle them. And like the regroupings are really nasty for Andy here. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ooh, but that's a lovely, lovely find by Leary, by the way. Have you seen this? Just onto the mainland?
Oh, wow, okay.
That's a really nice pick off from Leary. So was trying to get over with the light cab, but there's multiple Vels going down from Margugu. Basically all the Vels he had over.
Yeah. Do we see any upgrades on those Custier? Don't think so.
Doesn't look like it. No. Forging coming in now, all things.
Yeah, Forging coming in, okay. Handcart as well. But it's still only 2 TC for him. Making stable now for husbandry. Okay. But Leary is actually getting close to clicking up to Imperial. Now, the question, so obviously he won't have an amazing eco, so this can't be a full Custier play. Is this maybe just gonna be a monk play with the forward castle? Is he still on stone?
He's got a couple of Vels on stone at home.
Okay.
And he doesn't need much more. He's got 620, so he's just kind of finishing that off. When he's going for another monastery, it kind of feels like it.
Yeah, this could be a monk play and then forward castle traps, like an old school faster monks with a couple of Custier with it.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Not something you see every day. Like usually Burgundians will be booming here with a lot of farms, cheap eco upgrades, and then going into more of a late game approach.
I like the fact they're not just doing that because everyone else is doing it. Like, especially in a game as important as this, they're actually like, this is what they're thinking is best at this certain moment.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the Devils are already thinking about going forward. Monks gonna come and support. Sanctity's getting loaded. I mean, we have, like, Austria have a pretty decent presence on the land. We have 3 TCs from tanks, a couple of TCs from LB10. Ziskan's only just got over. It's not necessarily a forward castle, but I think it will go up. Yeah. The camel's just scared off in the meantime.
We also see a lot of monks from Sito. Now, I got a quiz question for you. Do Berbers get atonement?
Good question. I mean, they don't get sanctity. Do
Yeah,
they get atonement? I would say
didn't know
no.
that. I had to check.
I would say no.
They do actually.
They do.
Yeah.
I guess
No
so.
sanctity,
Like,
but atonement.
we're not going to give you sanctity, but we'll still give you redemption. We'll give you atonement.
So that you can, you know, convert monks that have 45 HP. I think that's the reasoning there.
Yeah, yeah. There's a tool with a click up now as well.
Okay, and he has good amount of eco, and he's also adding even more fishing ships. And he went for the 2 extra docks on the sides. I do like that a lot. So usually you make your first docks on your island, but then he, from the mainland, he made 2 more docks, like, you know, on these like little land pieces towards the neighboring players, and gets more access to fish there.
Yeah, it's a nice spot actually. I do like that. Weary was able to afford Elite Costaliers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got it.
Wow.
We've got 6 monks behind us. Block printing just coming in.
Block printing.
This could be dangerous. And yep, a couple of camels do get converted. Weary gets back. I don't know if Weary got atonement.
Do we see Clément slinging? Because don't really see anything else from him.
Oh, not really.
Okay.
Oh, and there's a double atonement. And elimination. Weary's going full clown. He done that the last series as well. He went for monks a lot.
Yeah. Realizing monks, best unit in the game.
Yeah, like all the AM guys are just doing that at the moment. Are like, like, oh my god, monks are actually like crazy good. Who's been hiding at the promise all this time?
I think there's still no atonement from Sito, so there's a lot of camels though. And as good as monks are, they are hard to micro, so you need a lot of them to actually deal with a lot of units, and also hard to micro. So if you screw up your micro here, Sito should be able to win this. This is Elite Costalier though, against cast stage camels.
Just trying to bait into the monks. Oh, go for the monks. Oh, it's so nervy times. Gotta be careful with your micro. Monk's stopping as well. Camel's gonna die by the look of it. Oh. Neither player wants to like fully commit, they're just trying to get the units back to their monks. Nab a conversion or 2.
There's one thing missing though from Austria, and that is siege. So even if I win this fight, like that's it's probably a good fight, but you need siege to kill the castle.
Yeah, not a single treb out, despite the castle from Weary, which kind of strange.
Magoo with some nice walls, but I think there's a hole next to the lumber camp. So if the Costalier were to go in there,
I think you're right.
A lot of juicy will kills, but okay, we have heavy camel in, but it's not like heavy camel does that much against monks.
No, and not this kind of number of monks as well. And he's disengaging for some reason.
True. He has a lot of faith on there actually. Okay, he's locking in the conversions now. We have more monasteries on the front. What is tanks doing? It's doing Arbalest now, okay. Makes a lot of sense.
And also went for some fast fires as well, by the looks of it. He's trying to trickle in. Still going for more. Not giving up.
I don't like the position of the ranges. I feel like they could be a lot more forward. And Arbalest are slow units, so you want them to be at the front line, so that you can get them into the fight fast. But I think this is looking very rough for France now, because how do they stop Arbalest? Like, they don't even have an answer to monks. And like, Arbalest are even more scary at this point, when everything you're making is light cap and camel.
And just the map position of Austria is looking very good as well. You got LB10 now going for the second castle there. The castle looks like it's going to go up from tanks. To's trying to get onto trebs of his own. He's going to be on 3 castles. But probably... Ooh. Did Quimon just lose that castle? I think he deleted it in time.
Okay.
Oh, he deleted it,
yep,
okay.
Probably, yes, 1,200, so...
Yeah, he deleted it. I had to check there.
Okay. Alright. So we have a help switch from Leary. Sounds good, but still lacking siege. We have a few traps now from tanks on the right side, who's currently getting raided by some light cav from Citeaux.
Citeaux, the last time they played the migration against China B that is, seemed to like he was just raiding all the time with the light cabin. It's such a pain in the bum. I'm always surprised with the lack of walling like certain teams like do on it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the hardest map to wall in all honesty.
No. It's pretty close in the middle actually, if you want it to be close. And it's especially surprising from a team like Austria, who are definitely more skilled on closed maps, that they don't just make... I mean, they're already playing it like it's a closed map with the amount of monks that we're seeing. So, yeah, walls would be a very nice addition as well. Okay, trap war on the right-hand side between LB10 and Citeaux. So, basically everyone of Team Austria is attacking Citeaux, right? And Citeaux also seems to be the only one actually making units. From France. Oh, we have some helps now for Magoo, okay, but helps are not gonna work against monks, so yeah, this is like the population is looking similar still. Actually, it's pretty even, but I don't really see anything for France here.
Yeah, Siscan still just making bells, focusing on water. Still quite a few trebs there from LB10, and now the crossbow mass starting to get upgraded from tanks. He has quite a few trebs as well. I mean, there's quite a few trebs from Weary now too. Yeah, they're starting to lose more and more of the map, and more trebs coming from LB10. That's a lot of trebs, all focusing on Citeaux. He has like 12 trebs between all of them, focusing on him right now. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, this is looking like Citeaux versus our Team Austria at this point.
For Gugu does have a couple of trebs just chipping away on Andy at the moment. Looks like Andy's bringing some monks over, Halb's coming back over from Weary as well, as the Costaliers are. But we've kind of got Siscan a bit of a non-factor at this moment. Quimon a bit of a non-factor on land as well. Like, he's the water player for Austria's tanks, and he's actually contributing quite a bit on land at this point.
I'm surprised that both teams still are still fighting for the water this much. Like, I personally don't think that the water gives you much at this point, so I would just completely ignore it and focus on the middle with everyone and just try to win the middle. And if you're the one team doing it while the other team is still trying to win water, I think you'll be in a good spot.
It really came clutch for them against China B with the water trade, but
that's true. That's true.
There's probably not many games where that becomes a proper factor, but my god, the trade in water was so clutch for them against China B.
Yeah, for sure. But that comes later, right? So I think you completely focus on the middle, try to win it that way, And if that doesn't work, you just stall the middle, win back water, and then trade on water. But I think like right now you don't want to trade. There's still some gold left. I mean, okay, so for France there's not much gold left, but that comes with not having a lot of map control.
Know your place.
And that again comes with not having spent many res on the middle. Like Blue still making, he's switching to Arbalest now, but he committed on water a lot. We had the Byzantine fast fire, so Clément only played water, then started slinging. So it's yeah, all on Citeaux to win this, and he's fighting 4 armies. So
yeah, and Citeaux is not really. His army is not really getting much bigger either. Castle's going down. And Castle way in the back doesn't feel great. I'm glad that LB10. I can't remember if it was LB10 or who had control of them for Austria's not making berserks this time. He did end up going for Arbs, the Vikings.
I remember
yeah, berserks for style points, but I think Arbs probably just the best thing you can do with Vikings.
I remember the game Austria against Great Britain on migration, where at some point Tank started typing. I think it was too late for him to talk or something, so he started typing, and he was typing in chat like for someone to please start adding Arbalest because he was on Cataphract, and he had the only civ that had fully upgraded Arbalest, but he still was no, I'm not gonna make Arbalest, someone else has to. Yeah, classic Tanks.
I think the story with Tanks in the UK series was he wasn't playing at home. This is what I heard. He wasn't playing at home, and after like game 2, he couldn't talk anymore. So all of his comms for like the rest of the other 2 games, or whatever it was, 2 or 3 games, had to be through the text chat.
Okay, I see.
Which is of course not ideal.
No, not at all. That is actually pretty huge because at this level, like the level we're seeing on Nations Cup is amazing, by the way. If you compare this to the team game level of the past team game tournaments last year, I think it has improved even more, and that's just amazing to see. And at this level, it's crucial to have good communication. And if you have technical issues with your communication, that's really rough.
Yeah. I think the team game level has been raised because there's so many different countries think that they can have a piece of it, whereas like a normal team game tournaments is like, well, it's gonna be GL, it's likely gonna be EM in the final. It's like who's gonna be picking up the scraps. There's a lot of teams that are gonna be fancy themselves in this format.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Motivation has certainly looked high. Deliri trying to get in on Margugu. Margugu's just still spamming halves out. It's kind of working for the meantime. Hand cannons are now out from Leary, so
exactly.
Good luck.
And Andy's just having a blast here, making only monks. That's who he is.
40 monks out on the field, 20 more in the queue. France just losing more and more ground on the map. And Austria certainly needing a win here. Looking like in a real good spot for it.
I'm surprised how close the score is. Is it water score? I don't think it is, right? As we see a lot of harbors being made or already built from tanks on the right side.
Yeah, Citeaux and Collab still have a decent amount of fish.
Okay.
They'll get 18 apiece.
I mean, they're somewhat holding now, but unless Team France starts pushing back ASAP, I just don't really see them winning because they run out of resources so fast with the amount of map control that Austria has currently.
And they gave up this little middle area between them, and they're both kind of like stuck into the corners now. Like 2 players in each corner. It's only a matter of time, surely. That I mean, like you said, they'll run out of resources, but it's just a matter of time before they can really think like, what can we do here? And Austria are reinforcing more castles from Leary in the middle, and they've just got a really good stranglehold of the game at this moment.
Saying that, we just had a score switch. I really don't understand it. I think this game is close to being over, but we do have double Arbalest on the right side here from Viking Simulate. That's not ideal. I think we need a different unit. And do we see anything? Looks like a Karambit switch from tanks. I like that. He has
multiple
map
castles, yeah.
Yeah.
And just skirms from LB10 as well now, so he hasn't just tossing the gold away at least.
What is the gold situation looking like here for Team France? We have 1,000 for Siskan. Sito has 5 on gold. Okay, it's not much.
Next to nothing.
Clément has some, but they should be running out soon. And I think without gold, there's not too much to do here. We see not a lead Karambit actually, but I think they're still doing fine. They just need some kind of meat shield. Do they have armor? No, they're also missing armor.
They're missing a lot of upgrades. It's a shame. Like, once you have full upgrades, Karambits are pretty fucking good.
Yeah. But
there's Elite coming in.
Yeah. Oh, we don't need Karambits when we have, how many is this? 30 Elite Kustia swinging over? Versus
Probably not, no.
Hatha and skirmishes. So.
Yeah, and this is not gonna look good. And the Costeliers just going in the skirms. Scan did get a nice couple of gates. One more wall. I mean, they're just gonna destroy the gate so quick as well. There you go.
Lyric to the rescue. And on the left side, we have Arbalest and skirmishes from Clément, so he stopped slinging. Let's see how many bears he slung in total. 21k.
Yeah,
okay.
a lot.
That is a lot. And he slung mostly to Sito, I assume. Yeah. 18k to Sito, who is still producing. Mostly Hasana, because he has no gold left.
Yeah, and even he's got 75 on food, and his food count is still at the absolute limit. It's not like he even has a lot of military out in the field. And yeah, GG.
GG called. Okay. Nice game. I enjoyed this. To be honest, I think Migration has given us the best games in Asian Cup so far.
Yeah, it was the most popular map. And the group
Migration
stage.
is just an amazing map, yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad it got added from the player vote. I think the player vote was all worth it for Migration to get added.
True, actually, yeah, it wasn't originally in.
Yeah.
It's just such a strategic map, and strategy, like, we see it on Arabia, right? If strategy is kind of like something you can't change in a team game, it can get stale. And when the strategy isn't really figured out, like on Migration, we saw a lot of fast fires, as Kingcat pointed out in your chat earlier. Like, there have been so many attempts with Fast Imp, and it hasn't looked great. Fast Imp is, like, I think going into the tournament, it was maybe the most popular strat on this map. Also talking to like some friends on NC Zone, where Migration is also a very popular map. Fast and Fast Fires is a staple on this map, and I think especially with this map gen we have in Nations Cup, has shown that Fast Imp is certainly not the only thing that you can do, and might not even be the best strategy you do.
Yeah, it seemed like it's kind of evaporated a bit more as the tournaments went on. A lot of teams did go for it, and it looked really successful in some games at the beginning of the tournament. But I'm seeing it less and less now for sure.
Yeah,
which is always good to see, like, some shifts as the tournament progresses, especially over such a long length of time. It gives there's been a lot of good opportunity for teams to like refine of like what they want to do in certain maps, which I think that for me that's been a nice point.
We also saw the Canadian approach with the Chinese pocket, which I didn't really think about Chinese as a good pocket sieve on Migration, but yeah, has been working well for them. And
yeah, they make it work.
Some teams also started adopting it.
Yeah, copycat league. Or maybe France that confident they don't need Paladin.
Yeah.
I mean, to me that would make sense. I was like, the game's not gonna even matter. It's not gonna get to that point. I think see Andy's going straight forward. Don't blame him. And Siskan does get a pig in the end.
Okay.
It's a shame they didn't really pair it with Vietnamese. So like, they didn't like. If they're gonna go for like a proper lame heavy approach, they could have went for something like that. But it feels kind of like awkward having Weir with Tatars on the other side.
Oh no, that's a rough start for Andy. He is running into the TC and is getting a ball lamed by Siskan. Okay, he didn't take too much damage and he's now trying to block. Does he see it? He will spot
no,
it,
but he's looking for it.
Yeah.
And he's Mongols as well. Yeah.
Yeah, Mongols helping out here.
And he if he can maybe kill that. Decides not to.
Okay.
The Eagle's got relatively low HP, and Tank should be coming over as well.
Yeah. I don't want to be in either situation right now, because like, I guess this guy will lose his Eagle, like he's running around, yeah, that's not gonna work up. But also blocking on this patch is just awful.
Yeah.
Like, laming in general is just my opinion, is not good for the game, especially in team games, because you have so much snowball potential, and laming boss means, you know, the snowball starts in Dark Age basically. And on this patch, you could even block if you just spam click with your laming scouts. So yeah, it looks like they are gonna get it though. They should.
Eagle should.
It's good teamwork, good teamwork. And then they can even lame the ball. Wait, but the ball's going to the left. So if Siskan sees this, yes, and he is sending a will. This is really well done.
Oh, and he's gonna get it.
Yeah, he's getting that.
Yeah,
oh, no.
That's unfortunate.
Again, you can't block that villager.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done by Siskan. Really well done.
That is well done. He kind of gets away with both the Austrians get away with relatively decent HP in their scouts. Though not. It could have been worse for sure. It's well played by Siskan. Other side, I think there's just been a few pigs backwards and forwards.
Yeah.
I guess for Leary, it's nice to lame some pigs as Tatars. Marginal gains and all that.
True.
And
so,
actually,
Leary flank.
Oh, sorry, just denying the lumber camp from Siskan for a little bit of time with the two scouts because the Eagle HP so low. It looks like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job in the end then. Okay. So I'm not sure about Leary flank here. Like, it's probably his best position, but
I mean, he's made a mill.
How dare he? These days, Arabia, in my opinion, comes down to pockets. Because playing flank, like, sure, there's also, like, if you're good at flank, then you can get an advantage that way. But I feel like pocket advantages are just so much more decisive than flank advantages. And with Citeaux playing as pocket here against LB10 and tanks as pocket, I think that can be rough. Like when Citeaux starts, going to beast mode and just raids everyone while still taking decent fights and protecting his flank. That's not a spot you want to be in.
You've essentially got the two best players for Austria playing in flank, right?
Yeah.
So what you're kind of saying is probably prefer them to be in the pocket where they can do the most damage, and even Clem has been he's been a beast pocket from what I've seen. Like, he's played really, really well. I mean, is it just a matter of, like, it's so hard to do damage against the flanks? Like, are these fast builds, so you can just go for the archer numbers and it's a lot harder to find it unless you're screwed with a bad map, or...
So I think that playing flank, like the game plan for a flank and the decisions a flank has to make are easier than for a pocket. And also it's easier for a strong pocket and like the more experienced player in pocket to like give advice and give some calls to the flank than the other way around, because you have mobile units. You're just looking at the map more, having units everywhere to judge the situations correctly and then decide accordingly. So that's at least why I play pocket in Nations Cup, and I think that's also the reason why Sito does it. Because Sito has previously played a lot of flank, and he is an amazing flank, of course. But the good thing about Team France is that they have a lot of flanks, which is not, not every team has that. It's not everyone's cup of tea to play these no-mill builds and just all in, no eco. And that might be something that Team Austria is struggling with. So maybe that's why they decided to put their best players on flank. We'll see. But yeah, so far we have just a regular... Oh, no, not regular. Look at Leary. He's playing the Leary style, which is one range, fast blacksmith, and I don't like it. I think it's super risky. If you lose one fight, it snowballs because you don't have the archer production. And yeah, we'll see. He has a double lumber camp setup. Same for Magoo though.
Yeah, it's like Andy did force a tower on the other side, but the scan is getting a clear up of the archers that were there. Terrible start for him. Aztecs, of course, will just spam out the numbers. Gold should be pretty safe now. Gold's for all of the flanks, like, fine, except from Siscan, but now the tower should be alright.
This is such a weird play from Leary. So he's doing walls, fast fletching, now he's adding a second range before farms. He's adding one farm now, and not playing aggressive. So you use it, you have fast fletching, but you're not using it offensively. So why make the blacksmith that fast? That's why typically you see a second range instead of the blacksmith. So because army numbers is something that you can't easily catch up on. Like you need a third range to get more production than your opponent, unless you have Britons. And fletching you can get at any time. So as long as you don't take bad fights before fletching hits, it makes more sense to add ranges earlier, because you just want to get the army numbers out.
Yeah, and when it comes to the two players actually engaging on the flank, Arguku's already got fletching as well. Is this going to be a chance for Leary to show his... He's got arguably the best micro in the game.
That was decent micro for sure, but it kind of strange what Magoo... Oh, okay, I see. Magoo was distracted. There was some scouts from LB in the back on the wood line, getting 2 vills actually. So nice start for Austria. Good job by LB.
Walk says Leary's favoured with 3 archers against 8. True.
Yeah. I mean, Magoo has really good micro. I think if Magoo hadn't been distracted in the back there, he should have won that fight. And, but yeah, so I guess now Leary just goes back and waits for Castle Age. Yeah, in the end it worked out, but I still don't really see the benefit of it. Like, just make a second range instead of blacksmith.
Yeah, going to Castle Age, Reform Ring, gonna be really nice for Tatars. So as long as they don't take a lot of damage in the next number of minutes, should be alright. The scouts need to come more from LB10. He's on double stable now as well.
And they have hunts, so...
Yeah. Dangerous little army from France, though, but there is good archer numbers from Leary.
Yeah, and there's a hill, here's Tatars.
Yep. Maybe Tatar's just a really nice civ to defend with on flank, maybe not. gonna be as good as the other ones, like your Brits, your
Yeah.
Ethiopians, your Mayans. But in this kind of like stage of the game, maybe it does make a lot of sense.
I mean, I think if Tatars had Arbalest, they would be like obviously not top 3, but probably like a 5th or 6th Civ. But not having Arbalest just means you shouldn't play Fast Imp, and Fast Imp is certainly a good strategy and a strategy that you're not always like you don't always choose to do it. Sometimes you just have to do it to survive or just and if you can't do it, then that can be rough if all of a sudden you're facing Fast and Barbalist and all you can do is brace our crossbows. So, okay, so we see a counterattack from Clément, and
And the LB10
as
is
much
wide
as
open.
yeah, exactly. As much as I said LB10 played well early on with a raid on Magoo, it's the classic Hun problem. Like you don't build houses, but you still have to wall. It's a team game. Like Team Game Arabia or any open map that is, you have to wall because at some point in Feudal Age there will be scouts left over and scouts with a lot of upgrades that is, and they're gonna kill your villagers really fast. So this is just sloppy in my opinion. We see tanks being fully walled.
He's not even reacting with his scouts as well. I know they're just hanging around in the meantime. He's decided not to come home. He's gonna go forward, and Levy doesn't even have the support with his army at this moment. Oh, and Margugu actually just opened up the wall.
That's interesting. Okay, that's not good.
I know the scouts are gonna come in.
This is Bloodlines +1 defense. Okay, this is a disaster for Magoo.
What's he thinking?
How's
nice walls, nice.
Doing decent at home. He lost 1 will only so far. Okay.
Okay, nice.
He has good production still to defend, and this is looking rough for Magoo now.
He was not expecting the scouts to come in at all.
Yeah, I guess Clément told him, yeah, I'm on pocket, don't worry about the scouts. But yeah, if you don't see them,
they gotta be somewhere.
They can appear everywhere, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Leary will hit Castle Age, and he's using this castle timing on pocket. I love it. That's really good decision making. Magoo already took some damage, and now you can use your free thumb ring timing on the pocket. Forced to make a tower, so no extra TCs immediately for Clément. So the only issue is on this side for Austria, that LB hasn't clicked up, right? He had to make so many scouts to defend and also have scouts on the offensive. So
19.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. And another raid coming into LB's 10.
God.
You just have to be fully walled.
So gonna be in Castle Age soon as well. Just love him to keep those scouts alive. He's gonna upgrade them, and oh, Siskan's even coming over as well.
Oh, okay.
Even a reaction from tanks. Freaking Andy's coming over, so there's gonna be a little rainbow in LB10's base, and he's just gonna try and take as little damage as he can.
And tanks only now clicked up, and this is what I meant, like what I said earlier, is the difference in skill and experience on open maps between the pockets is probably just too high for Austria to win this. Although they're taking a decent fight here, good surrounds from tanks on the archers.
Yep.
Before the crossbow upgrade comes in, okay.
Light cav in there as well. Yep. Still decent numbers there. Looks like Leary did lose all his crossbows at Clément's base. He does have a little other mass, but still decent numbers at home from Margugu as well.
Yeah, it was good defense by Clément, but also, like, as much as I like the player from Leary to hit Clément, and he took some damage, but LB took even more damage, so...
LB's still taking more damage. Clem had a few of the light cav hidden in the back. The archers were there from Siskan, so he deleted one of the palisades, and light cav said, yes please. And the military difference is not looking good.
Nope. Okay, finally LB on the way up.
Weavy and Margugu just passing on either side of the wood line as well.
Okay. thumb ring coming in from Magoo. I do like that from Magoo. He's always getting a thumb ring early. I don't know how he does it. Probably with idle TC time, but it's a very nice tech to have early on, especially against others because you know they have it.
Mm-hmm. LB10 just God. More and more bells going down.
Yeah.
Both the pockets here.
And the GG's called.
And GG.
Okay. Quick game. I hope this is a game for LB to remember that you should be walled on Arabia,
Yeah, yeah.
even playing as Hans.
I mean, this base just does look very sad. Like, it's great not having to make houses.
It does, but
and you're never gonna get housed. It's just
start making palisades, and you only stop when you're fully walled. That's you
Mhm.
just have to do it. Like there's, like, I think in 1v1 there are situations where you don't want to wall, where you don't have to wall. But I think in team game it's just that easy. You have to be walled, and even if you have no wood lines near your TC, you just do a circle around your TC.
Mhm.
But
I
like,
think
you can't let Lightcav come and raid your farm eco.
yeah. Where do you wall here? Get 2 wood lines to the back. Do you wall to the edge and try and like wall into your TC a little bit? And then you can secure the gold and you secure good farm space. Do you see what I mean?
I think the barracks stable placement is correct, and then you just make a straight palisade to the right to the market where
Mhm.
his berries were at the mill, right? And then you just go straight down and to the left to that
Yeah.
to that forest, and then to the edge. And then you have a secure Bane Gold, and then you just wall the left side at the stone as well. Like it's a huge wall, of course, and it's not something you can hold against crossbows, but if crossbows come to you, that means that they're missing somewhere else. So you can you should have an advantage somewhere else, or at least have a good warning that they come. Prepare some defenses. Sometimes, if it's not a diagonal palisade, you can also try something with like markets behind or something. But it's like the palisade walls are especially for like late feudal age scouts and light cav that you want to wall out and protect your farm eco.
Which you can see Sato very clever with his placement of his buildings as well, making sure he can use those buildings as part of his wall. Okay, I'm back, but I hadn't changed the overlay.
Alright. Yeah, I saw that. I did a radio cast, so your viewers can at least have some information already.
I always feel like whenever you're casting, you should always be casting like it is a radio.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I listen to casts, doing something else, so just listening in, and
Yeah.
it's always nice to still like. There's some casters where if you only listen to them, you still have a really good idea of what's going on, and then others that rely more on you actually seeing what's happening as well.
Yeah. I'm the same. I usually have it going on like the background, or I might be doing other things on the PC, so it's good to just be able to listen and kind of have an understanding of what's like going on.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we have Andy as Japanese here in the on the left side against Clément Ethiopians. No docks so far from Ethiopians with 3 on wood. And on the other side we have Leary as Portuguese. A very nice civ here. He didn't go for the mill start. He's doing one now though, so no dock I assume. Maybe later. 3 on wood as well. And then he's facing Siskan with Incas, who has only 2 on wood and is sending a will out to make a dock right now.
Did we have any lames at the very beginning?
I don't think so. Looks pretty even. And its scout HP is also all full HP. Yeah, no laming, I think.
Okay. And it looks like we have like the 2 rivers generation. It's relatively skinny, but it's also this kind of L shape where like the most traditional thing would be to have like maybe 2 players on each river. I don't know. You could have tanks go back dock as well and make it free on that side, but he has decided to go for the same one with Andy.
That's odd. I don't like it. I think what you should do is, especially when Leary isn't docking, I think Leary should dock, but if he isn't docking, then LB should go for more forward dock, and then tanks can just use the back of the upper river, because there's not much fish that Andy and tanks are now sharing. Also,
No.
docking like both pockets in the same river means that like, you have less pressure on the on the guy docking in the other river to protect the fish. So he can go either YOLO on water, or you can just ignore it or whatever. But this way, if you lose one river, you'll always lose one pocket fish, which is the same for Team France actually. So I don't like it. I think Sito should have docked the bottom river, and tanks should have gone for the top river.
Kind of interesting. We get tanks as humans in this kind of position where, in some generations, maybe humans could go for like a pretty heavy 2TC boom, but being in this middle section, kind of a little bit more open. You could just have some walls in front, but
yeah,
probably this position invites a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, knowing tanks, you will drop a second TC. I don't think you should, because I feel like on a hybrid map, you already have more eco, and like the eco difference. So if you're spending wood on a TC and your opponents are spending wood on fishing ships, you're not actually ahead in eco compared to a pure land map.
Yeah.
So I don't mind adding a TC like sometime in Fuel Age as humans, just not the instant second TC. And looking at his wood line right now, it does look like a second TC, because you don't want to stay on this wood eco setup for too long, I guess. But we'll see.
12 there, looks like Andy. Getting away with a villager on the left hand side. Good coordination from Clem and Margugu.
Oh yeah.
Don't know if he lost the Dogville as well. Hang on. No, it's just one. Okay.
Okay, so this is Galleys versus Galleys. But faster uptime for Clément. He had a 901. So that is that is 18 vills with Loom. Nice uptime.
And I find something here. Andy does have Japanese fish and chips, so double HP is pretty damn nice to just tank. And he's already got a bit of a defender's advantage anyway, so I think he should be fine here. Tanks actually did go for double eco ops, and he is going for scouts to begin with.
Okay, that's good. Also, look at Tank's dock already.
That's so bad.
That's what I'm saying, right? So that's why you should dock where LB docked, and then LB just goes forward. And LB's gonna lose his fish instantly because Leary didn't dock. So I'm not a fan of this approach on the top side for Austria, because that's just gonna be like an easy fish snipe for Siskan, and he can then focus on defending already. Whereas if you have at least like some fires or something to play against those galleys, then he has to focus on both sides. But I mean, we still have some nice aggression from Leary.
Stonewall trying to come in from Siskan, doesn't get them up in the end. He's only just about to get his range up. LB10 and Leary have played a decent amount together through the years as well, haven't they? So there should be some... The comms shouldn't be terrible between them. LB10 playing as his pocket. Let's see what he can do. Scouts are coming forward now. Siskan under a lot of pressure, so quite a lot of idols at his TC. Just waiting for the help of Sato. Andy is open in the left hand side, still not fully walled yet, he's trying to play full water.
No, Tank's out of position and losing more vills.
Yep.
I mean, Andy lost how many vills? 3 vills already, but he's still ahead in worker count because Clément has 1 fishing ship only, so I think it's not too bad after all. Let's see how much damage Leary can deal to Sito now, who's going for a market wall with those cheap Saracen markets. Second stable, so yeah. He's feeling the pressure.
Tank's going for that second TC out in his front of his base. Weary still just working around. When he can just keep moving. Might try and take a Vil here, but unlikely.
That's a berry TC, by the way, that
I know.
Tanks are doing. Not too pretty.
He does get like 4 pieces of wood as well, so they can give him credit for that.
And some long distance gold mining, I guess.
Yeah.
That's a nice aggression. Let's see the upgrades on Sito Scouts here. He has forging, and that's it. So that's not enough.
So you have to tower the wood line here.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can. He certainly is concerned, but the scouts for some reason to disengage a little bit. There's a couple of spears, in fairness, of Weary mixed in. Okay. And then Andy versus Clem on water is actually looking good for Andy. He's got a free galley advantage at the moment.
And he has the fish working, and he had, like, since he expanded with his docks, like along the river, he has access to deep fish, and those are Japanese fish as well. So I think Andy's in a decent spot. He's only had by 1 eco unit though. Had some idle TC, lost 3 villagers. Then we have Magoo on the way to Castle Age, so that's gonna be an interesting dynamic between Magoo faster Castle Age, and then we have tanks with the second TC. Generally, I prefer the second TC, unless of course he takes some damage. So you should wall up now. Like same thing as on Arabia, just make palisade walls, because if it's only knights attacking you, you can always rewall.
And where's Sato gonna go with his scouts just now? Are they gonna go up there? And even Weary's moving back. I'm not too sure. And Weary's completely open. Completely open.
True, he is going up to Castle Age in a bit though, and like he got all this damage basically for free because he didn't lose his archers. That's something that shouldn't really happen, I'd say. Maybe Stoke can still snipe them.
He's also redocked as well. He's not redocked. He's docked. I know he's nearly got 4 fire galleys massed up there, and that's that's gonna be like that's gonna be like no reaction from Sato or Saskan at all.
Tanks won't wall this in time. Look in the north at the crossing between tanks and LB10.
That's 9. It's 9 scouts. Now got armor as well.
Yep. He has a second TC and he is moving his woodline like between the TC, so he's fairly safe. Now will LB have the same issue as the last game? He can wall it, but no. Just walling in the res, okay.
Okay, still a hole. Gets fine there. 12 seconds away. He's going to be in Castle Age as well. Should be able to make a few kills at least.
That's not too bad then. Yeah. He's going to lose 3 vills, I guess. Not pulling all the vills back to the TC. I think isn't this also the patch where like pulling vills back to the TC was still bugged? Where like when it's full, the vills won't like do anything when you garrison them to a full TC? I think so.
Probably. Always something.
Yeah.
There's always something.
Okay, getting another
Wait.
and then we have
We're finding a few kills on Siscan, but Siscan also going for a counter attack on tanks up in the north.
Ooh, okay.
So like everyone is all over the place here. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
Weary clears up the fish from Sato now. He's going to be working on Siscans. Tanks is dropping multiple stables at the front. Didn't get the walls up in time, unfortunately. And the scouts are still finding value from Sato.
Why? Yeah, okay. I was wondering why LB hadn't added in a camel to at least chase them down, but I mean he has TCs up now. It's not a pretty base setup, but he should be fine. And now we see Andy winning on water because of a timing advantage.
Yep.
I like the fact that he added fire galleys on the way to Castle Age, because I do believe that like having a few fires in front, when you're getting the war galley upgrade anyway, give you more value than some extra war galleys, just to tank some of the arrow fire. and giving you some nice meat shield. Yeah, good play by Andy. I like it. And now we have Magoo with light cav on tanks. But I think tanks is defending, and he is in Castle Age with actually less eco than Magoo.
Yeah, Margiga already on 59 bells, 4 TCs. He gets the farm upgrades for free as well with Frank. So the fact that Fisher dead is not going to be a massive issue for him.
Sito is not fully stonewalled. Oh, that's unfortunate. Lost the will on the left. He wouldn't be fully stonewalled anyway. Look at this weird shallow shape. Like,
I know, it's like
you think you're fully walled, but you can still go around. And now that Andy controls water, like that's gonna be rough. Got a firm eco lead for Austria already. Leary actually going back on water. Wait, I missed that.
Yeah, I mean,
so he cleared the fish.
He cleared it completely, yeah. Now he's going to be in 3 TCs at home, going to be booming away. Those scouts still finding a value at LB10. Like, there's just action everywhere.
Yeah. We even have some knights and light cap from Magoo coming over. Yeah. LB's having another rough game here, but I think tanks should be able to defend him now.
Yeah, some camels mixed in from him as well.
Still was actually in a really rough spot. He lost 12 eco units. I don't know how much fish he added, but that's obviously fish plus a couple of vills. And he has the second lowest vill count.
Yeah, from pocket it doesn't feel fantastic.
Nope.
And Margiga's kind of in this super pocket position. And he's really looking like it.
5th TC.
The 5th TC coming in, 75 L's already, and
okay.
It's looking damn nice for him. And Siskan still being annoying on the opposite side, they'll be 10. It's just the comparison player. And Margigu has a decent amount ahead of him.
Look at cleared now, and it looks pretty good for Austria. It's just that Magoo is in a good spot, right? So Magoo can carry this. I'm just not sure about this 5th TC. I think when like the team is behind altogether, then you need to get some kind of timing to gain an advantage, or like gain an advantage back, or at least even it out. So just Omega booming is probably not gonna win you the game. That said, I don't think they're like too far behind. I think this is still winnable for sure. But I think Leary is in the perfect spot he wants to be in. Right? He has 3TC eco. He's doing some army to pressure Siskan. Siskan is having a rough game here.
Yeah, playing up against Leary is not easy.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Siskan is not getting much help from Satil anytime soon. It's getting some units trickled in here and there. Oh, nice attack ground from Siskan though. Saracen's a bit of an awkward one. In the pocket.
Yes and no. So I think in the early game they're really nice because you have the market to balance your eco. You can click up to cast edge quickly if in this case obviously Sito couldn't because he had to defend from Leary's archers, but in some games you can do that. And then you have like strong camels in the mid game. Your team bonus is really nice on this map as well throughout the game. And in late game, Mamelukes on this map are just amazing. But the game that Sito had, he would much rather have an eco civ. Because he is pretty far away from Mamelukes.
Yeah, it's just not the easiest thing to do, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's now making knights, which you can't upgrade once you get to imp. You're gonna try and make something happen with them.
Oh, we have a castle race, another one. On the left-hand side between Andy and...
I think both of them are gonna go up, even with the knight numbers there from...
Oh, do they?
Ooh. Nope, the
I think they should.
Oh, no,
yes,
it's not good.
No, yes.
Oh.
Oh. Oh, that is a proper doubt castle.
Oh my god. It was about a second in it. It was about a second in
Oh, wow. That is...
And flashbacks from the Nomad
I don't think
game.
it changes too much. Actually, it does, because Andy is on the way up.
Just about. You can see Margugu on his way up to Imp as well. His knight numbers are starting to swell, 13.
Okay, can Magoo... I mean, the army count is looking terrible right now. It's 105 to 48, but that is also water.
Yeah. And a
I
water
don't actually see how much, because the Andy has so many different units that I don't see the army count of his ships because it's hidden behind the
yeah, he's got
behind
fires,
the eco.
demos.
That's a classic Andy thing. Like, Andy usually builds all units he has access to. Like, and Andy in Hidden Cup is pretty easy to guess.
He's gonna lose that castle on the left-hand side, but Margugu's up. Saying that, we got Leary up, LB10's up, Andy's up, Tanks is eco. I think he just keeps producing knights for the meantime.
Tanks has a weird eco. Like, it has a lot of builds, but they don't look efficient. And also, I don't like his TC placements. Like, I already didn't like his second TC, but his third TC is even worse because it was at a wood line that was like almost done, and now he has to like make farms like everywhere. They're not protected near mills, and yeah.
Also, Cumin's walling late game in the middle here is not going to be much of an option. The Palisades makes that a little bit awkward, so someone else is going to come and have to do that job for him. That's what they do want to do. You can see Quimont is going for the big walls on the left-hand side. And looks like LB10 is thinking about, yeah, he's going to go for the stone walls, where he can. So, next stages for France, is it a matter of Margugu finding damage where he needs to? I mean, he's the one actually playing reactive at the moment because Tanks has got knights in his base. So he is keeping them at home a little bit.
Well done, well done. So I think this gun is dead.
It's not looking
basically
good.
Now.
Can we sneak past? We can actually sneak past there. There we go.
Yeah.
And he might just go straight to
He might just go straight to Stowe, and that is a really good play.
Like surprise.
And that's the big issue of Saracens, is that early in you struggle against Arbalest. Like, at least you have +4 knights. It's better than Hindustani that don't even have knights. But, it's still not the favorite position for Saracen to be in. And he's getting a castle up here. That's nice.
Yeah, it's gonna run into it.
But those are Hindustani camels, so they should kill the stable.
That stable super quickly. Yeah.
So
that's heavy camel now as well. Paladin on the way from Margugu.
Yeah, so Austria just needs to make sure that they don't die to Paladin now, and then they should be in a really good spot, I think. So I like the walls from Tanks for sure. From LB, I mean. But it's only one will, so those Cavalier will go through, but we already have heavy camel, right? So yeah. I think if LB now plays on Citeaux, on Magoo, sorry, they should probably be able to hold the Paladin.
See Grand Trunk Roads already coming in from LB10. Trade gonna be slightly awkward than this one.
Yeah.
Especially for France if Siscan just gets wiped now. You're gonna have Austria control of 3 corners, and long term that's not gonna be good for France at all.
Gotta love those chemistry mangonels from Leary. They look more scary than they are. 40 +1 damage, nice.
Castle coming from Weary now as well. 3 bomber cannons behind it. Looks like left-hand side. LB10 gets a nice wall up. I guess LB10 just going to swing camels outside.
Yeah, he has to, because if he doesn't do that, I think tanks will die. He's only now up, and he doesn't have access to heavy camels, so the only thing you can do is either switch to helps, which you shouldn't. It's not a good attack switch at this moment, and yeah, the only thing you have otherwise is your own paladin, but that's going to take a long time, so we really need a lot of camels from LB. Nice walls from tanks. And the camels are coming, okay. And Imp camel on the way.
Yeah,
Alright,
and only 30 seconds away at this point. Very nice that the camels attacked. But we're getting there. Looks like Andy's getting a nice push on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Working away on that one cancels, the second one not too far away as well. Chito trying to get onto heavy camel, but the Arb's also breathing down the neck from Weary. And yeah, it's just
you can't go Mamelukes.
Yeah.
This game looks pretty over. You can't go Mamelukes because Mamelukes, like, they are fine against camels if you have a meat shield, but in a straight up fight they take kind of double bonus damage because they're both cavalry and camels. So they die pretty hard to camels, and Imp camels are good camels, so that's a rough
Very
position
good camels.
for Sito.
Yeah, and that's a brutal castle from Weary.
Yeah, he's gonna push straight into... Wait, what is Siskan's pop? Okay, that's 18, so yeah.
They call it, yeah.
They're calling it, wow, okay.
I mean...
Winning French home map.
Yeah, it's 4 versus 3.
That is big, that is really big. And this actually leaves Austria in a really good position to take the set.
Oh boy.
Because the last game will be BF, and the Civs, we already discussed it. Let's check off the ones they use. They won with Portuguese, Japanese, Cumans, and Hindustani. So they have Bohemians, Teutons, Poles, and Sicilians. That is
That's a sick
quite
combo.
the stacked BF matchup, yeah.
That is a sick. Going to BF.
Yes, very nice.
And Austria home map after opting to play in France home map in game number 4. It is a ballsy move to do it. It's a power move to do it for sure, especially if you do win it.
Yeah.
That means you go into game 5 on your home map, and oh boy, do they have the great subs for it. Bohemians, Poles in the flank, Teutons and Sicilians in the pocket. And let's have a look at the gen. Do we have 0 pawns?
Yes, the 0 pond.
We got a 0
BF.
pawn, and look how far away the flanks
Very
are from the
old school.
pockets as well.
Oh, and we see Cito flank here. Okay.
Yeah.
So just like in RF.
So it's the toe flank, Margugu on the flank also with Bulgarians, and Andy's having fun already. He's already lamed the boar from Margugu.
Okay. Is he taking it back?
He's
Yeah,
trying.
he
He's
is,
not. He's
okay.
not that far away, and I think LP10's gonna try and come and block for him. And he might. Yeah, he might get that back. Yeah, LP10's blocking the boar now, and that should be enough.
So the first thing that comes to mind when I see this BF map gen is it's really bad for France. So one thing I don't like about BF is the randomness of the map gens, and sure, you can say, you know, you gotta adapt to it, which is fair enough, but it still means that sometimes you just, you know, in a disadvantage just because of the map. And in this game, I think it's a huge disadvantage on the left side for France, just because Andy has a direct path into the pocket, who is Clément here. And you don't see that on the, like, for Austria. Like, the Austrian pockets are pretty safe. I mean, I guess tanks can maybe get harassed by Cito, but tanks realize that really early, sends 2 wills straight away and gets amazing walls onto Cito. So Cito's Turks, so of course Chinese could be an issue, but with walls like this from tanks, I think it should be fine.
Yeah. Really nice forward walls for sure.
Nice map awareness by tanks. And on the other side, we don't see the same for Team France. You know, Clément not sending wills instantly to wall the middle, which means that for now at least, Andy has the possibility to be annoying and delay the pocket and as always in team games, pockets are winning games, and especially on BF, being delayed means that you might just die to a nice timing push.
Mm-hmm.
And then having the disadvantage doesn't help.
And it's not like that area it's not like it shouldn't be a priority to wall. There's like 6 boars there and some gold, and it gives you a very nice forward position on Austria. Yeah. And now Andy's been a pain in the ass with these 2 vills. Marguga's having to chase with 3 of them. I was thinking before he went for the lame, did he maybe just go for the wall out, but decided he wanted to cause a bit more disruption.
These are Polish vills as well, so they regenerate, even in Dark Age in this patch. So yeah, using 2 vills to distract 3 vills, that sounds good to me.
Yep, sure thing. Let's take a look at idle time. Sato's on 34 seconds, Andy only on 2 seconds of idle.
Wow.
I mean, that's considering like how much he's done already, that's really nice.
Yeah. And that's exactly his playstyle on flank. Like, Andy's just loving it.
You can see Leary with Bohemians on our side. That's when he played against UK. If I remember correctly.
Ooh. He even got the walls. He snuck a will through, got the walls, so Sito is trapped now with less villagers. Oh, that is not good for Sito.
Yeah, if they thought the Civ disadvantage was bad, this is the one Civ you're probably relying on if you're France to get some work done as Turks, and this is gonna peg them back by quite a distance. One more Vel going down. So, oh my god,
Wait, what?
Weary,
what's Leary doing?
What are you doing, man? He deletes the
low
wall.
HP Vil.
Waits to develop his own.
I mean, he's still fine. He's doing fine.
And it is Dark Age walls, so they go down pretty damn fast. Repairing now, good job from Leary, and our villager's gonna go down. It's gonna be 12 vills from Sito. Soon enough. He does take that scout on the way out. And where's the 2 villagers from Andy? Okay, he's actually sent 1 more. It's still been annoying.
Still not walled. I really wouldn't mind Andy actually sneaking a vill to the pocket and then just playing scouts or archers or whatever. Just delaying. Nice wall in.
Nice wall in of the wolf. We've always good players complaining about wolves.
When I first started playing BF, the thing I enjoyed the most was fish booming. But in this RF now, I think walling in the wolves this is even better. Like it's
such a
so
fun moment.
Satisfying.
Yeah.
To have usually you're so afraid of wolves, and when you practice it a little and you see how like these BF guys are doing it, it seems so easy, and it's so yeah. I mean, I guess the builds are like healing, but I think he only took 1 or 2. 1 or 2 hits there from the wolf.
Okay, so Andy's gonna go for the wall out. He's gonna try and wall out Claymon here, which I do like. They're gonna cut off Marguga. You're going for the one there. Oh, Sato puts a $ in chat.
Okay, but team. Only in team chat, right?
Yeah. So I wonder where that's
he wants some money or something. I don't know. A gold fling. Actually, so I don't know about the French keyboard. On the German keyboard, the $ is on the 4. What about the English keyboard?
My keyboard's actually a US keyboard. It's the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's also 4. Okay.
It's also 4 on the US keyboard.
Okay. So could be different on the French. I know that the French keyboard is a lot different. Could be caps lock. Who knows?
Sato's actually trying to force some walls at the tanks as well. Like he's still committing more vills here. And like, he's actually sending 3 more. Walls. Yeah.
Oh, this is not looking good.
No.
He's so committed to this, and Leary's not up either. He's making farms. Okay. Yeah, Tank's done a really good job, realizing he needs to send vills instantly. Got those walls, rewalling, and since Sito's not up, there can't be any towers. Okay, Sito is doing his gates, which is cute, but I don't think it's enough. Like he'll recover some space, but Once tanks is up, he'll just stonewall this, and he's done with it. And there won't be a Turk castle anytime soon.
Nope. You can see LP10's actually added a stable as well. He says up to Castle Age, maybe trickles in a couple of scouts here and there if he has the food. Let's see. Andy's still being super annoying with his vills. And Margugu's still trying to chase him down.
No stable from Clément. It's risky, but...
Oh, and Andy does have a villager on the other side of the wall.
Oh yeah, true.
So he needs to, I think Clément needs to pull some vills here. And once you start seeing the stone walls go up, you probably have to... he's sending a vill now, but... You're gonna have to send more than one.
Does he have Loom though? He does, yeah. Okay, watch out, Clément. Don't get walled in. That's a very Andy thing to do. Yep. Oh, okay, that was not... One tile was not built. Okay, okay.
Nearly. He's gonna try it again, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see if he gets it.
Okay, what else is going on? A lot of random palisades. You know stuff happened here. Did he get it? No.
He's on the other side now, but Margugu's left.
This one villager is causing so much annoyance.
I know, right? Like, tanks get the stone walls up without too many issues. Sato's on 27 vills. It's not looking too hot. Still in Dark Age. Clem goes for 2 TCs now, but he's cut off from his ally.
Okay, now Sito, Magu got the vill. Okay, so what did he?
No, still alive.
Oh, he's still running. Okay, now they're blocking it. But can you block though? This is the no block patch.
Still alive.
Okay, walls it in. Okay. Wait, Clément hasn't collected 2 of his sheep, and this is like explored. Remember?
Yeah, I guess he lost the scout, but decided.
Yeah, just send a vill.
I send a vill. Yeah. Kind of weird.
200 free food. Yeah. Also didn't push his deer. I would just send long distance, but I mean, he Slavs. He has good farms. I guess he'll manage. Now, matchup wise, as we said earlier, this is rough for France because Goths into Sicilians and Teuton's pocket, especially when you have Goths with a help siege civ. You know, Team Austria doesn't even need helps, right? Unless, of course, Clément goes for Cav, which I doubt. So, as Teutons, you can just play G-Sonic Knights, right?
Yeah.
What do they do against that? I guess you should open champions, because champions are just better overall. Like, they're more affordable, you get to them easier. But, yeah, Teuton champs should be amazing here, and LB probably goes for a help siege approach here. Or even not help, maybe just sergeant siege or something. We'll see. Could go Cav as well. Okay, so Sito is finally on the way to Feudal Age. He's not on stone.
So what do you do?
Extra wars.
What do you do if you're Sito at this moment? Like, how do you try and get back into this game? Do you add TCs?
You probably have to boom, yeah. Now, I think it's good that he's on a stone, because if you look at his position, look at the walls. Like, he's face wall. Like, this map is, to be honest, this map is really bad for him. Because you're Turks, you want to castle drop someone, and then you have 2 long, like, sort of corridors. And on both of them, you are pretty far away. So, yeah, not a good map for him, especially as Turks here. But yeah, castle dropping now doesn't really make sense. Like, you castle drop either of those two walls, and they just re-wall behind it, and they have so much space to re-wall. So, yeah.
Well, Levy's thinking about Siege Monk.
I think it's good. Yeah, like Sito is so behind. I think it makes sense, but I also like the fact that he's adding a TC, because you don't have to go all in here. Like, you win the late game. Not necessarily in this matchup between Bohemians and Turks, because Turks is actually like one of the few civs that, you know, match up well against Bohemians, I feel like, with their bombard cannons. But, as a team, they have big Civ disadvantage for sure. Okay, what happened to the villager? Okay, the Andy villager is still alive.
Still alive. It's insane. Look at the little maze that she's made.
Yeah. This is Andy in a nutshell. This and also the having at least one of each unit type. That's the classic Andy, and I think it's amazing. Like, it's certainly not my playstyle, but I love seeing it. It's really good.
Okay, Leary breaks down the walls on the other side, and he's already forcing a tower from Sato. I'm trying to think.
Good.
Why Siscan, Pocket, and Sato flank? Did he play like every game on flank in RF?
He did. So I think, I think they were a little scared of Andy if he were to be on the side of Siscan, because I don't think Siscan plays much BF, and you need a lot of BF experience to play against someone like Andy.
Yeah.
And sure, Sito can have a lot of impact in pocket, but what does it give him if he's, with flank Siscan, who just gets, rolled by Andy? So yeah.
And well, it's wary. This is demolition the total at the moment, and that tower's going to go down super fast. Another mangonel's coming in on 29 bills. He's got like 20 bills behind.
Light calves. I mean, there's no spears here, so unless Leary gets some amazing attack rounds, 2 light calves should clean this. I think. He's gonna wait. He's gonna wait for more. Well, you never know with Leary. Like, you remember this one clip from, what was it, Grand Melee or something, where he had this amazing fight on Gold Rush, I think it was, with like attack rounds on camels, just completely winning the fights. There we go. Okay, cool. Dodge by Sito.
Okay. Oh, gonna get the conversions. Gonna get the conversions. Gonna take some time.
He'll get the conversions.
Okay, gets one. Oh, they were both cast onto the one.
Yeah.
I think you delete the wall and repair now. Oh, it's fine.
Okay, I said that Leary had no spears, but I forgot that he had wilds, Guess wilds are just as good as spears.
Okay, nice attack round again. There's 2 monks in the back. Leary's trying to hide them. They're just coming forward from tanks. Siscan and Clem are both up.
Nice attack round again.
Oh, did they get it? Oh my god.
I mean, this is still kind of risky. So from tanks, I think. Because you don't know what's coming. Like, Siscan could be making some cast edge units as well, so if you go for a forward caster, yeah, okay, I like this. I think this is safe.
Oh my god, get the fucking thing out of the way.
Kind of awkward.
Oh, he's
just doing it in the back.
Okay.
I think that's also fine. You just don't throw the game by having a doubt castle now. Just make a castle, send some joint knights through, and then start making barracks inside Sito space. Okay, what's happening on the other side? We have a ram from Clément clearing up all this beautiful maze that one Andy villager created.
It's gonna take time.
Right?
It's gonna take a little bit of time, yeah. Like, Marguga's having to deal with the walls from Andy as well. Andy's up. Looks like LB10's coming forward with a castle of his own. And like, you can see we're dead even on like eco and military, but now we're in this like Imperial Age part of the game, and you're then gonna start looking more towards the Civs. It's like, Austria can just say, you have to come and beat us, guys.
So the fact that they're equal in eco is just the fact that Magoo has more eco than Andy, right? But Andy is in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andy went for fast impact. I completely missed that. Whereas Magoo is booming on 40 Cs, has a Krepos in defense, and
He has
is
an
now getting
eco.
trapped.
Yeah. What do you do with lots of eco with Bulgarians on flank?
Oh god. This is just a masterpiece by Andy. Those walls that he made, right? That they're now getting rammed down by a battering ram. Look at what that caused. It caused Clément to make the production buildings so far in the back. Like he's making 3 workshops between him and his pocket. And we all know that siege workshop units are not the fastest in the game, so this one villager has bought Austria so much time. That's incredible.
I know, tanks has made Teutonic Knights. This is like masterpiece territory.
Yeah.
The castle in the face. The man with Teutonic in his name. He's feeling pretty good right now. We can tell. And another castle. Oh god, Jesus. It's always in a world of pain. Looks like Onager switch coming in from LB10 now. So Scan is trying to flip over to this side. Sergeant? What else is Andy adding here? He's only got... He can have 2 castles. Is that enough time to add Obok?
He's on 80 builds. I think so, but I don't think you need Obok, right? When you have sergeants. Is he just doing elite sergeant or what is it?
Yeah,
elite sergeant,
they are
okay.
actually elite. They are elite.
So no, I think you just go Cav plus bombard cannons, but for now it's fine to just make siege and boom back. Because it's like the fast imp is all about making siege and monks sometimes, but here you don't really need monks against these civs. So just adding the bombard cannons to the traps means that you have, you know, that one guy can focus on making the siege to actually kill buildings. So that makes it way easier for LB10 to focus on the units, right? So if you get this position with the sergeants and the donjons and such, you already have the siege to back it up and to start killing the Krepos and the TCs. And Magoo is taking, you know, a lot of damage already, and
yeah,
helps against sergeants. That's not good.
Not good. More sergeants coming over. Scan is just waiting for the Teutonic Knights to come through. Weary's also got onagers and monks of his own. Scan not really getting a lot of utility from his army at this moment, which is not great when it's minute 35. You're just kind of waiting. Waiting for the opponent to waltz into your base. Tanks certainly will be waltzing very soon. Teutonic Knights just look so damn good. You got to be careful though, there's guns behind the halves.
Yep. We also have some interesting Bohemian onagers. Not something you see every day.
No.
I think now we should see a sling from tanks to Andy, not to Andy, to Leary to Fort Hufnitze. Because Hufnitze now plus Teutonic Knights, it's just gonna.
And he actually sounds weird just after that.
Okay.
You've got a very good. You've done it in an hour game as well. You just like it was the Clément game. He hadn't started slinging yet. I think like 2 seconds later he started slinging. Got a very good gauge when it's gonna happen.
Comes from the thousands of team games I've played.
Yeah. And there's 52 sergeants in the base now from LB10, and dungeons coming up in the trade as well, or the eventual trade line, which it would be, but denying gold. It's looking fantastic. Clément had started a cut next to the walls here, but I mean.
Do we have Drugina in? Let me check in game.
Stone, please.
Well, Tanks is actually sending in-game chat. Maybe he can voice chat.
Oh yeah, true.
You know, sometimes
okay,
I
so
Sorry, when things get just a little bit chaotic, like nobody, like sometimes people don't listen to each other, and like you hear the end game voice command, and it's like, oh, that's what I need.
Yeah, that's true. So Dragina is in. I don't know if Dragina champs like they should trade decently against Sergeants, I guess, but they have 85 HP. That's a lot.
Pulling back to the dungeons, kind of nice.
Yeah. Does he have upgrades for them? Not too many. He's getting Bracer now, Chemistry.
Only arrow slits and the rest.
Yeah, arrow slits.
It's huge.
Very nice upgrade for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so, we have a. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I think they're in a bit of. Are they in a bit of a danger of being overconfident in the right hand side? I guess Hifnitz is coming in now. Looks fit. Yeah, I mean Hifnitz is huge.
Hifnitz is huge. Sito is still far away from contributing, and we have. Yeah, we don't have too much army from. We have a overboom from tanks. Okay, so. One, especially with like overbooming with Wilds is kind of weird in my opinion, because you see the Will count in game, right? Like this little number underneath your population. So if you see 164, you know you have to delete, right? Unless slinging is part of your plan, of course. But overbooming with trade and fish, on the other hand, is actually quite tricky, like to see, because you see like I have 80 Wills. And then you have 40 trade cards and 40 fishing ships. That is also overbooming, but it's not as easy to see. So, but here in this case, it's only Wilds, and I think tanks should delete some.
Yeah, 160 is a lot. I'm kind of glad we got a traditional BF with like none of the big fish booming, you know? Because like, just with Rage Bars going on, it feels like you nearly see it every game.
Yeah.
It's just something different.
It's not well balanced. That's my take on it. It's really fun to do. I think it adds a lot to the map. It's just not balanced. So balancing the amount of lakes, that's a good start. But having a pocket lake versus a flank lake is just different. It's a difference, right? Like it makes for an uneven game, and I also think that it's just too strong, the fish booming. So So Clément with some friendly fire. Or maybe he just wanted those, mounted conics to become dismounted conics, we don't know. But
well, Clément does have a lot of champions on the left hand side here with Dragina. We're starting to push in a little bit. Looks like the wood line get cleared, so he can actually attack the castle if he needs it. Nice job from tanks, if so. I mean,
credit to Siskan though. Like he's holding this for longer than I expected.
Yeah. I think it was part of the reason, like the tanks had like Teutonic Knights. It feels like slightly memeing. I don't want to be disrespectful, but like, they obviously feel really good about their position. They wouldn't be going for Teutonic Knights.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
Yeah, I think if he just goes champion and then invests faster into just a bunch of bombard cannons, or like earlier slinging into Hufnitze, then he should be pushing. But yeah, I don't really see Siskan holding unless Sito gets to Imp and gets those artillery bombard cannons, but that's not gonna happen.
A lot of Huskarls that just died. There's a lot of siege on just now from tanks, and
oh wow.
GG, like everyone from France getting out at the exact same time.
Alright, GG.
GG.
Well played. Nice set.
Very nice set.
Actually closer than I expected. Like, I expected the set to be close, not the games, but the games were actually close. At least some of them. Like the migration game was close, at least for a while, and then also the reverse game.